When was the last time you were happy? Literally last time you were happy.
That just got deep. Last time I was happy.
Could be today, could be yesterday, could be some time ago.
I feel like I'm always happy, but I can say like when the last time I was really happy was like when me and my family were in Miami. Me and my two sisters, my mom, just in the hotel laughing, dancing, having a good time, drinking mojitos.
This was like a vacation type of thing?
Yeah, my sister, she's going to medical school in Spain, so we had to go to Miami so she can get her visa.
Dad came too or no?
No, just the girls.
Girls trip.
That's how it always is.
What about this? When's the last time you were mad? Upset at something?
Last time I was upset.
Again, could be something today, yesterday, this week, maybe a while ago. But the very last time you were mad.
I'm always happy. I don't know.
Do you get mad?
Yeah, I get mad. I don't know when the last time I was mad. I want to say like, yeah, I don't know.
You do have somebody sitting to the side of the interview, and you kind of looked at him as you said that.
Because he was talking, I was like, I don't want to talk. We was talking about something earlier, and I was like, I was mad. But then I was like, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
It was over a boy, though. I say that.
Now, what about this? When's the last time you were sad? When's the last time you actually shed a tear?
You know what? I actually almost cried in my Lyft today because my Lyft driver is like the sweetest woman. I'm actually going to church with her tomorrow, and she was like telling me her life and her kids and how like most of her siblings passed, and I just like was in the back seat like, okay.
You actually shed a tear, or you almost?
I shed a tear. I was like, okay, this is like sad.
Now, how did you even get in a converse? Do you like converse? Okay, now.
Oh, yeah, I like talking.
You do?
I do.
Because I believe, I don't know if it's Uber or Lyft, they started a new feature on one of their cars where you can actually show a driver that you're not in the mood to talk. You don't want to talk. Yeah, you don't want to be talked to or spoken to. Or.
I love to be talked to. I love to be spoken to. I love casual conversation. Like, you got my life in your hands. I need to know more about you.
Now, we've done a few other segments in this interview. So if people are watching this segment and haven't seen the other segments of the interview, you're 19 at this point, and you don't drive.
I don't drive. Don't know how to drive.
You tried at 14 years old. A car accident happened. You weren't the driver of the car, but that scared you off since.
Yeah. But after, I'm the worst driver. After the car accident, like a year later, I was 15, and I drove my sister's car. My mom had to pay like $7,000 in damages. They had to take the car completely apart, put it back together. It was a Maserati. It was her graduation gift. And one day, my mom gave me her keys, but she thought I was giving it to somebody else. But I got in the car, ran over it something, and then fucked it up.
Do you know what you ran over?
A curb.
Oh.
A curb, yeah. And the car sits so low, like it sit so low. So it fucked up the whole radiator.
$7,000 in damages.
$7,000.
What age was this? Did you state?
15.
So 14, the accident happens. And this was, you were already starting to try to learn how to drive at 14. You get into this accident with your mom. She's the driver. And then at 15, this is the very next time you actually try to get in the car?
That was the last time like I was like behind the wheel doing this.
And was anybody in that car when you were in it, or just you?
No, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and like I was moving my mom's car closer, or my sister's car, my mom's car. I was moving it closer, and then I thought I knew what I was doing. I really don't know what the fuck I was thinking, because like I know I don't know how to drive, but at that moment I was like, okay, I can do this, but couldn't.
So ever since then, you've been getting rides?
Yep, been paying for lifts. Use on mama car.
Have you ever calculated how much you've probably spent just on Lyft rides?
Well, I don't live in the city, so, but when I'm in the city, I would say I spend like probably 100 on Lyfts. Like altogether. Like if I'm here for a week, probably like 100, 150 on Lyfts.
Do you like that? Do you like being chauffeured around?
No. I do if I didn't have to pay for it, you know? So if it was free, I would be liking it. But no, I don't.
You do want to learn how to drive eventually.
Yes, I'm about to get my license hopefully by the end of the month.
You know, sometimes people say when they have keys in their hand and they drive, that's freedom.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. My mom actually took me driving before I went driving yesterday. And my mom was like, "You never been in the car by yourself before." And I was like, "You know what? I haven't really." So when my mom was teaching me, she wasn't like literally teaching me. My mom is so scared. She called me. She was outside of the car, and she was like on the phone with me telling me what to do. But she was like, "I want you to have this time, have your freedom to just be in the car by yourself." Because that's something I've never experienced before, and I didn't think about it until then.
And how did that feel?
It felt so good. It felt good just to be like in the car by yourself, just driving.
So, okay, when you're doing all these Lyft drives and you have people driving you, you start a conversation with the driver or they start a conversation with you?
Mostly I started with the driver because I just like to talk and like to get to know people. So I'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? How long you been driving Lyft?"
And you'll have a full-blown conversation
yeah,
with
and
them
then we
the whole
just start
time?
talking and talking and talking. I love having my Lyft drivers. I like them.
I would assume you've met some weird drivers? Some weirdos?
The only one weird person, I want to say weird, but he was flirting with me. He was like, I was telling him about some guy, and then he was like, "What? A girl like you?" Like flirting with me, like, "I'm not going to see you again, but I hope I do." And just want my number and stuff, but yeah.
You gave him a fake number or you told him
No, I was
no
like,
number?
"Boy, you're crazy."
And that's another thing I was going to ask you. There are news stories of people that have been kidnapped and things done to them by drivers.
Yeah.
People have gotten killed. People have gotten kidnapped, abducted, raped.
Yeah.
There's stories out there of this stuff.
Yeah, I've always tried to tell people, like, take precaution. Like, always make sure the child lock is not on. Always sit in the front seat. I'll always sit in the front seat of my Lyfts. And make sure the license plate match up. Make sure you know your driver's name. And when you approach the car, don't say, "Hey, are you here to pick me up?" Just be like, "Who are you here to pick up?" So they can give you a name. So you really have to be more cautious of everything, especially during the Super Bowl. Like I heard like 13 Uber drivers already picked up for sex trafficking. And I think Atlanta is the #1 city for sex trafficking. I think that's true. So we always have to like act like we got eyes in the back of our head and just be very cautious, not even in Lyfts, but even going to the mall now, even going anywhere.
So you're very mindful, it sounds like, of this stuff.
Always.
This is you being mindful on your own, or is this like mom or dad really like putting this and instilling this into you?
Well, I feel like mom and dad putting it in me is me. So it is me doing it. It is me just being so cautious of everything.
But this Flirty Driver, that's as far as it's gotten.
Yeah.
And do you report it? Do you mention it in your...
It was so harmless. Like, it was nothing. Like, it was fun. It was funny. So I was like, okay, that's
You
okay.
still rated him 5 stars? Or
5 stars, friendly conversation, good driver, clean car, whole everything.
Are you really critical when it comes to those things, or do you 5-star everybody, or
I
you
5-star everybody.
You do.
I have good drivers, so I never have to complain. But yeah, but one driver I had was bad, but then I couldn't give him bad rating because I ended up throwing up in his Lyft. I ended up throwing up his car, so I had to be like, okay, never mind.
Because he was a bad driver, you threw up in his car?
No, it was my first night. I don't really go to clubs. I don't go anywhere. So on the last day, me and my sisters going to Miami, we all went out. Me and my sisters, and we had to slide the bouncer $20 so I can get in because I'm underage. It's like 21 and over. So I had a good time, but then out of nowhere, I just felt this sickness while I'm in this back of this Lyft. And like I was fine throughout the whole night. And then I just threw up, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I gave him $150. I was like, I'm so sorry.
You gave $150 in cash?
No, through the app. I was just like, I'm so sorry. I felt so bad.
And were you drinking?
That's the thing, I really wasn't. I was just drinking water. I was drinking water most of the time. Like my sister, I had like one drink, but it was like a slushie with alcohol in it. But it was something so minor. But then we walked around. I know it made me sick. It was some dudes that want to talk to me. It made me sick.
It was some what?
Dudes who want to talk to me made me sick. That's what happened. Because right before my Lyft pulled up, it was like these dudes. It was me and my sisters. It was like us just alone, and then a whole bunch of dudes come up, and I'm just like trying to get them out my face, and then like I literally feel sick talking to them, and that's what happened.
That can make somebody like yourself vomit?
I did not know that until then. I did not know that.
Interesting. I've
But
never
it
heard that
literally
before.
made me sick. I was like, right when I got in the car, I was like, made me sick.
Sick because you were nervous or anxiety, or sick because you just didn't want to be bothered?
I didn't want
They
to
were
be
grossing you
bothered,
out?
and the dude was like he was just kept talking to me. I'm like, all right, you have a good time. You know, I'm like being nice and sweet, but he just keeps talking, and then like I turn around like hope my sisters will come save me. They're talking, the dudes are talking to them too. I'm like, fuck, this is like hell. So I had to like just bear it, and then I was just like, okay. I just felt really sick all of a sudden.
Learn something new every day.
I know, I didn't know that about myself. I hope it doesn't happen again, because I'm not trying to pay $50 again, $150.